Here we have the mold for the base. Now the reason I did an exact replica of the Cinemaquette mold is because my buddy Enzo wanted it to look exactly like the Cinemaquettes, so that is the only reason I casted it. So let's get that going. After mixing equal amounts of the Alumilite, black in color, filled up the mold, and this is what we got. Nice and heavy and solid. I went ahead and added some little foam on here and added a little plaque. And now all we need is to finish up the nameplate that will go on there. Here is the nameplate that we decided on. The letters will be painted red with some highlights. Let's get that going. And what I am doing also is not just brushing and painting it. I'm actually building it up so we can have a little 3D effect. And here we have the base with the nameplate. Okay, so where am I going to get the hands or fists? My trusty old T800 right here, Arnold. So we got, I cut through here, so I'm just gonna take these guys off. There we go. So that's one fist. We'll be holding a gun right here. But of course Arnold is holding this rifle here. So I broke off the trigger finger and moved it around, and it's loose. So now what I need to do is probably get in here and pry that thing open so we can take this guy out, and then we can mold the hand. Then we'll put the gun in there and actually figure out how to put the finger where the trigger goes. So that's the next step. So I started moving it around and it actually snapped and broke whatever was in here. But that's cool. No big deal. And there we have it. Now we got to figure out if this will work for the gun. Okay, so I don't have to worry about putting this gun in here because this isn't what I'm going to use. I'm going to mold this and make this one out of clay. Not this one. This one I'll just mold and just make it out of resin because it's already done. This one I need to make it out of clay because that way I can open this up a bit so we can put the gun inside. At least enough to put it in. See, if I were to do this here, it won't go in. It's not allowing it to go in. So I need to open this up slightly so it can, when it is done in resin, this can just go slide inside nicely, and then worry about the finger later. But that's what it will be. So it might look pretty cool. This one was a little bit tricky because if I don't add this clay here, you would have an undercut, and I just need to be able to have the mold where when I pour in the clay, it goes in through here and into the tip of these fingers. So this should be able to make that happen. For these molds I will be using Rebound 25. Again, equal amounts of each, and we just mix it up. I went ahead and brushed some silicone just on the areas where I want to make sure, don't get no air pockets. Put them back in here and just pour it in. Okay, so they're filled up and now we just wait about 4 hours to demold. Okay, so I demolded the molds here. Now this one here, I just cut one side here since I will be putting resin on this one. This one I did two so I can really open it up because I'm going to pour clay in this one and I need to be able to take it out without distorting the clay. So I mixed equal amounts of the smooth cast 300. Pour it in here. Switch it around, make sure I get it where it needs to go. There we go. Okay, we're here in the kitchen. Here I am with my monster clay. This is hard as hell, so I'm gonna put it in the microwave for a bit. All right, so I left it in there, this big old tub. It wasn't solid all the way, but I left it in there for about 1 minute and 30 seconds. And now it's kind of soft, so I can just grab some and put it in this guy. I'm thinking that might be enough, so let's put this guy in the oven, microwave until it's liquid. Okay, it's not all the way liquidy, but it's hot enough where the rest of it is just melting in there. So just stirring it until the rest starts melting. And then we'll pour it in here. You have to be careful because this thing is hot as hell. I'm gonna have to make sure it gets in all the undercuts in there. So, ow, shit. Move it around. I'll put it in the refrigerator and wait till it cools. Okay, so it's been in the refrigerator. We'll actually freeze it for about half an hour. Let's see if it's ready. There we go. So now from here I will carve this stuff out, make room for the gun, smooth things out, and we got it. All right, so there's this one. I demolded it. So here's the fist, already glove sculpted on there, obviously. Put that aside. Now we're going to work on this guy, and we're going to start taking all this stuff out in here, and so we can put the gun in there. And get the gun. Of course, this gun's going to be painted black, but here we go. Carve a little bit more out. Now, the initial plan was to have the finger in the trigger. This may be kind of small, but I'll see what I can do. If that would not work, then we would just have the finger downward, as if he's holding the gun like this. I think it would look kind of cool if the finger can go in there. But by doing that, that finger would have to be casted and molded differently, so we can just put it in there and then just fix, and once the gun is glued on there. If the finger was out this way, it would be easier to just put the gun in and out, but it should be permanent. So let me work on that finger and see if that would work. Okay, so here we have the finger holding the gun, about to pull the trigger if needed. So I will be casting this guy and the finger separate. Once the finger is done, we'll just glue it on here and work with putty, and that should do it. We're just gonna add some little detail on there. Now I'm using the rubber urethane. There we go. Let that dry and put a little plaster bandages to support it. Then we'll do the other side, and hopefully this will work and we'll have the resin copy. And on this little wiener here, we're just going to use your regular rebound 25. Okay, we'll let this dry, and the next video should be the final video of the Joker being all done. We'll see you next time, guys.